Hi, this is Kelly from Crafty Kelly's at www.craftykelly.co.uk. Today I'm bringing you something a little bit different to my usual stuff. So I got this Hunkydory topper set for next to nothing from the Create and Craft website. I'm a member, so it was one of their members' gifts. So you just pay P&P, which is $2.99. So I paid $2.99 for it basically. I thought we could go through it and look at some possibilities for cards. I've never really done this style of card making, so it was really interesting to get this and to have a look what they've got and the quality of the cardstock and see what kind of patterns and things that we can make today. So this was the free kind of, I think it's quarterly or monthly giveaway from Create and Craft, and I paid $2.99 for postage, but it was free, but it wasn't because you paid postage. But I still think that was very good, because looking at these kind of decoupage card sets, they're usually quite expensive. So I've got this set of toppers and it all just pops out, and I've got a sentiment here that says lots of love, lots of love. All of these just pop out, so they're die cut already, which is good for quickness. And now I've got like 3 layers, so that's quite good. So I can use these layers all together or split them up. Couple of sentiments, for the bigger kind of square cards, which isn't a style card that I tend to do, but I might have to make one just to use that up. Oh, these are quite nice. There's a lot of kind of elements on here, so we've got a bit of foiling, got some bright colours. They're very nicely printed. I like like wine glasses. Good times, yeah, I like that. And then these, I assume, are either inserts, but they're quite thick. If I folded that, that would be the wrong side for my, trying to think. So, but possibly can cut a portion of this out and then just pop a sentiment on it instead. And here we go. This is nice with this foiling papers. This will be nice cut in half and used as a card base. And again, so for me, this would make sense to, although that would make it a large card, not a A6. But these are quite pretty and definitely like snippable, so you could snip in to get out these kind of elements for it, for your card. And balloons. I love a bit of bunting. That's fun. That is fun. And ice cream. So you get quite a lot in your pack. I'm going to get some ideas and we can make some cards from it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've popped out all the elements from the topper sheets. I'm just going to show you how easy they are to pop out. Literally just a few little nicks that hold them in place, but they pop out relatively easy. And the strips, you have to snip from each end. So I'm just going to get my scissors right up to the edge and snip. You don't have to go ahead and get everything off your sheets. I'm just doing that today so I can really see what I've got and kind of have a mess around, and then it's all taken apart and I can put them in a little pack and keep them for when I want to use them again. So we've got lots of different shapes and things. So I've pulled out from my cardstock stash some colours. I've got this is cardstock by Stampin' Up, and I've got a thick whisper white, I've got blushing bride, sweet sugar plum, which is retired, and smoky slate. But you can use whatever you've got in your stash. I'm going to cut a couple of these down to a standard card base for the UK, which is 14.8 and then scored at 10.5. So that's the standard card base UK. But I'll do a couple. Okay, so I've cut out some card bases in colours that I think will match. I might pull in a like this kind of blue because I'm sure I've got a blue, a similar colour. I'm just going to pop those to one side for the moment, and we're going to start looking for a paper I want to cut up and use as my first. So I want to get this bit in here. We do 10.5 this way first. So I'm going to cut this down to 10 to create my first kind of layer. So that's 5mm from the card base. So and then I can cut it 5mm or so from the top, so that will be 14.2. We might use that. So here's our first layer. Quick and easy, lovely. What we can do is, if you like, you can try it with a different colour. See what colour you prefer. I think I might go for the Blushing Bride. It's a bit of fun. Picks out kind of the pinks in it. So there we go. Now, so we've got all these elements. Now I've got some ice cream style ones, and I think I'm gonna pop, something ice creamy on here. Yeah, I think that one. I think I want some kind of something going down the side. So I'm going to take this strip that we've just been working with, and I'm going to cut it so I get a small portion of it. Probably about 1 inch or 1/2 inch. We'll cut to 1 inch. We'll cut to 1/2 inch. So I'm measuring off this side instead, because I've got a small amount of ruler there. So I'm going to cut. Is that one? No, that is 1/2 inch. Is that going to be big enough? Yeah. So I've got this strip that I'm going to pop in here. That's nice. I'm going to cut that down to be 14.2, so it matches the first layer. So I'm going to just use some double-sided tape to adhere this, and some foam pads. So you can either use glue or whatever kind of adhesive that you prefer. Entirely up to you. I go for whatever I've got to hand. So I'm going to just line this up, top and bottom. There we go, so we've got that little element in there. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals or foam pads, and we're going to raise up this part. So I've got one there, there and there. I think we need to get some ribbon on here as well, and I've got, I think, which will be the perfect kind of match for this. So I got this one from The Works. I think that's like perfect little match, so I'm going to use this. It was only £1, which isn't bad. I'm going to do a strip and then I'm going to tie a bow and stick the bow onto it. So I'm just going to use a bit of tape to hold it in place at the back. Let's try and get it in the right place. Let's snip it off. There we go. And we want it about there. We are going to attach this to our card base in a second, so I'm not going to fully take this off. I'm just going to lay my ribbon on and then pop that down so it doesn't get stuck onto the table whilst I'm still working with it. There we go. Fab. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow. So let's tie it. Snip you off. Okay, so you can attach this either with a glue dot or some glue, double-sided tape. I'm going to use a glue dot. I find that they work the best for something like this, but use whatever you got to hand. I'm going to pop one in the centre, then I'm going to pop one each on the ribbon loops there. One, don't want to stick. Two. Right, so centre, push in hard, and I'm going to use my little pokey tool to just position this back one, give it a rub down, because I want it to, can you see how the bow's sticking up a little bit, because we want a bit of shape to it. We want it to stick up like a nice bow. I have to just trim that down a little bit. Wrong way, that way. Now if you wanted, you can stick your ribbons down or your bow down there as well. Entirely up to you. So let's just pop a bit of double-sided tape on the back of here. Okay. Just line up and stick down. So there we go, there's our first card. very quick and simple, nice and easy. Let's do another. So, I really like this paper and I want to get this bit in, so let's just chop this down. And I'm going to stick with standard size card bases for this. So I'm going to want this at 10. Yeah, I'm going to want this at 10. And then I'm going to cut this down to 14.2. So this bottom bit, I'm going to get off some of this as well because I think we might be able to use that. So one, and I think this one here too. So got my elements here, and let's find the one that had I think the sweet sugar plum, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I've got bone powder right there. Nightmare I am. So, it's our top, our first layer. Got these little strips that we can pop on. Now, well, there it is. Okay, so this pack of the elements has like some of this kind of detail on. So I might pop one of those in. Oh, that's a bit big. Maybe the cake. I think I'm just going to mount that straight on. What should we go for? I don't know if I'm a fan of any of these ones, to be honest. Well, let's use the Let's Celebrate. Then it needs more. It needs something else. Do that flat and that raised. And I think we need to get a little bow in there. So shall we go? I've got this really fun polka dot ribbon from Stampin' Up. Or I've got this organza. Or what about this? This is lovely, like a velvet. We'll use some of that. So we'll pop these one side and we'll start making. So I'm gonna once again do a layer around my card, probably in about the centre. And my scissors gone. I have several pairs of scissors and can never find one. It's because I got stuff everywhere. So I've just created a little bit of space because I've got stuff everywhere. And I'm going for it about there. Try and keep it straight. So Theo's just woken up from his nap, so you might hear him in the background. That's okay, we'll carry on for as long as I can and I'll have to come back to it later. So I'm just going to pop these off again like I did with the last one. There we go. Not quite straight, but it's fine. So I'm going to pop this one on flat. I'm going to use some glue. Uh-oh, somebody's coming over. I'm just going to put a dab of glue in the corners. What, darling? You want to watch what Mummy's doing? Oh.
Oh.
So we're going to put this one on straight. Yeah. There we go.
Oh.
And we're gonna, there's the dimensionals. I'm gonna use a couple of dimensionals. One. Ooh. That on a slight angle, a fun jaunty angle. Thank you, I need that, darling. And then let's celebrate. I might add something else, but I don't know what yet. So we'll figure that out in just a sec. I've got my little son sitting on my lap helping. He does like to get involved in Mummy's crafting. So I hope I'm still in shot. Oh, and the seagulls are awake too. I think what I might do is I might just cut a couple of these out and raise one or two of them up. So if you like a bit of fussy cutting, fab. If you don't worry. So I'm going to cut out a... Oh, do you want to put that on? Oh, thank you, darling. So we can put a pink, a purple, I want a yellow as well. I might as well just, so I'm just going to snip this section out.
Oh.
Then hopefully I can just... Nat.
Oh.
Up there. And then I think we'll just go for the green. So it's kind of alternate. Oh, cutting the wrong one. Use that on something else.
Yeah.
I know, darling. Careful. Right. Got a very helpful boy here. Just going to move all that there. Move the scissors out of the way. And we want our mini dimensionals, I think. I think these... where are they? Oh, we'll just use some. So I'm just going to snip into these to make slightly smaller ones. So, put one on here. one on here. Oh, I've actually got in the centre. Here. Oh, thank you. You are just the most helpful boy in the world. So we're going to pop that one up. We're going to pop that one up. Yeah. So obviously you can take your time out over this a little bit more. Kind of made a bit of a mess of that one. There we go. If you've got any glitter or Wiggastella, or if you're into putting lots of sparkly gems and stuff on, then obviously you can do, but this is just to use it. I'm using as little extras as possible, so if you've just got a bit of ribbon, then you can create more. So that's our second card. Okay, so we've got these two cards here, and now I'm gonna make another one. Let's push all these over to one side. So I had to move them because Theo was grabbing them, but there we go. Okay, so let's start with looking for a background that I like. So we could match up this. Actually, I think I might use this corner. Let's trim it out. I'm just going to try and make as many cards as I can with what I've got here. And we'll see how many we end up with. So that needs to be 10. And I'm keeping the measurements pretty much the same throughout. So I'm just only ever going 5mm in. So you could, I'll just probably cut that short, haven't I? A bit too short. Oh no, it's alright. We might use that chunk. I've got to say this cardstock cuts really nicely. Yeah, I'm liking it. It's good. So for this one, let's take out some of these elements, the big ones, and possibly that's going to be far too big for there. So might have to use that one in a different card. That's fine. We could pop that up, possibly, and we could. There's a few different options here. So this has got the actual like sentiment on. I want to put something else on top of that. So I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. How about this nice big one and maybe a strip of some sort. It's kind of nice being able to play around like this and find what you like and what works for you, because what I might like and you might like might be two totally different things. So let's pull out some of these sentiments, I think. maybe the Let's Party. So I'm thinking, are these to go together? This kind of configuration. This one might need something and something more. Okay, so I've just cut out a card base. I think it's in Soft Sky. I have marked it slightly so, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to pop this up on there. So we're going to pop this up here with our this here and here, and I think I'm going to get some rhinestones and pop some of those on. Am I going to put some ribbon on? I might put a bit of twine on, plain white twine. I'll wrap it around the card at the top here. I want to get about like 3 wraps. Tie it off at the top here. And what I tend to do is I'm going to come back with my loose end and tie those all together. And they're not going to go anywhere. So then I can fiddle with the rest of it and do my bow. There we go. Snip. So with this, I might snip those ends off. I'm gonna split my 3 ends. Get them so they are sitting. There we go. 1. There'll be a natural way they want to sit, so they're not looking all twisted, and that's what we want. I want this one over there. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'll sort the rest of that out once I've got this all in place. So we're going to have our ribbon there. Have this on top. And then I'll kind of sending lots of love, or to a very special friend. Over it. Just don't know if that's the one for me though. Yeah, we'll do that. Right, so I'm going to adhere this to the card base using the double-sided tape. Now I'm just going to go straight over the string because now it won't move anywhere. That's why I didn't do it before. I wanted to make sure that I've got it in the right spots. There we go. Now this we're going to pop up. There we go. Sorry about the head. Ooh. And then we're going to pop this one up just on there. So I'll just put a small amount of tape probably on there. And I'll stick a dimensional down on the bottom of it. This corner. Then it is definitely held in place. There we go. Then I'm just going to take some of the rhinestones and let's go for a biggish one. So when placing rhinestones, I just go random, and you should always, I think odd numbers look better. So if I put another one on, I'd have to put another one on. So I always go for odd numbers. So there we go. There is card 3. Now I'm going to make this one up. And have I got anything that's that kind of light purple? Oh, I only do, don't I? Perfect. So all my card bases are Stampin' Up cardstock. I love Stampin' Up cardstock. I just find it's really good. Also, all my inks match my cardstock. So if I decided I wanted to stamp a sentiment, I'm able to do so to match the colour cardstock that I'm using. So if you're not a Stampin' Up person, Stampin' Up is really, really good for colour matching their products. That's why I love that about Stampin' Up. It's why I use Stampin' Up stuff a lot. Just deciding which one to use now. Half tempted to use that one. Actually, no, I'll use some of you again. I really liked that one. So I'm going to cut into where I've chopped, and we can cut that down. Now, do we want that end? No, we want that end. There we go. Yeah. And so we're gonna have you flat, pop you up. Look how these cards are coming together so quickly. I'm quite impressed with the quickness of actually how easy it is to kind of build them up, or kind of make whatever it is that you're making. I think without, because I think that's kind of cool. Don't think it needs the Deluxe party. So I think I'm going to do that very similar to that last card. I'm going to use though, might pop a, do I pop some ribbon on it? Or do I? Tempted to put a run of you at the bottom. Yeah, we'll do that. Just for a bit more interest. So, double-sided tape is here. That's what happens when I've got so much on my desk in front of me. But if you make cards for like craft fairs and things, these are really quick and easy, to be fair. I do craft fairs, but I tend to sell my stamping cards because I've never done cards like this before. But actually these are really simple, and if I wanted to I could use my own sentiments to do something, or maybe punch out different shapes. I want to see as much of that bunting as I can. So I love a bit bunting. I do love a bit bunting. What's up this side? There we go. And then, some pearls. We'll use some pearls this time. So I'm going to go for a couple of the small ones. One. Let's get a big one. Two. Three. So you can see how quickly these cards can come together. I could add more, but I'm cool with that. half want a little bow in that corner. So I'm just using my organza ribbon, tying a bow. Pop that at the top. So I'm just going to hold that in place with a glue dot. Top of that bunting. Pull that a little bit in. There we go. It's card number 4. Still got loads of stuff left. Let's see next. Thanks. Blue. Yeah, I might do something like that. So I'm going to take this one with the ice cream kind of look about it. Cut that down. So I'm trying to use every single piece of cardstock so it gives you an idea. Although the cards are similar, they're not the same, and it just gives you a couple of ideas of how you can use this pack. So let's get out our sweet sugar plum. Or maybe the grey. No, sweet sugar plum. So I'm going to layer. I'm going to pop my box on is just a bit of interest. And we're going to pop circle on up here, circle down here, and then I think I'm going to do a bow or something, or some ribbon tied round. Oh, let's do it. So what I'm going to do is around here, I'm going to tie my bow. Which might sound a little bit strange, but it will all become clear. Might be a bit more ribbon. So I will just tie a bow and stick it on. So I'm just going to tie a bow, and I'm going to stick it onto my card. All I need now is double-sided tape. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to adhere this. So I use Tombow. I find it's a good glue. I've used like a Hobbycraft one before, and do you know what? It just distorts my cardstock. So I'm sticking with my Tombow. I find once something's stuck down with Tombow, I've never had it move. So Tombow all the way for me. Where are my dimensionals? On there. Hiding everything from myself. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle. One, two, one, two, three. What have we got left? What haven't we done one with? We haven't done the balloons. I'm going to use this balloon paper for the next one, and I want to get these balloons in. I think I'm going to go for these colours here. And the blue, or the pink, or the purple. It's purple in all of it. Oh, I've not scored that one. Okay, so I want a little something at the bottom of there, so I'm gonna take off these stars, pop them on, perfect. There we go. So it's going to go there and there. Then I half kind of want some ribbon hanging down from there, some string. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring in my stamping mat. If you've got a piercing mat, stamping mat, entirely up to you. I'm going to take my pokey tool and make a hole, and then I'm going to thread my thread through. Okay, I just fancy having a bit of string on my balloon. So if I just do that, stick you down. And then what we'll do is we'll tie a little bow in a second to pop onto that. I think the rest of them are probably covered. Yeah, they are. So we'll leave that like that. And I'll snip this off. A little bow. I only want a little, but I don't want anything too big. Whoop. If you've got little glue dots, something like this would be much better. These glue dots, I believe, are a little bit smaller. Oh, they might not be. But I'm just gonna, with my glue dot, roll it in two, pick up my pokey tool, pop it down over the hole with my little bow. Just kind of make sure you've got it kind of equal. Pop that on top, and you can just about position. There we go. Okay, so all we need to do now is pop this all onto our card base. I'm going to just try and catch that under the sentiment so it doesn't flap around. So I'll just pop it onto that one. So let's just use a bit of a glue dot. So I'm just going to use a glue dot to fasten this down, and this will be covered by our sentiment. There we go. Couple of gems. There we go. I'm going to make 2 more, I think, and then call it a day. So we've got this paper with the candles on, and we'll use a bit of that. I've got a little bit of damage to this one. Now, I want to use this top bit and I want to use this bottom bit, so I am going to cut them out and join them. So let's just quickly measure how big that is. That's about just over 2 inches, and that is, so let's cut this end off first. I'm just going to cut that much off, and then I'm going to layer that on top, but I'm going to hide this little gap. I can actually just cut that off. No. 2 inches. So here we are. Sorry, my camera stopped for a second. So I've trimmed this down. I'm going to have this across here, this across here, and now we need sentiments. Happy birthday to you. Really like the Let's Party. Not used any of these. So I'm thinking this one. Yeah. So let's stick these two together. So I've put double-sided tape on here. I'm just butting it up to the top one and placing, because I've made sure the measurement fitted, it fits fine. And now to cover that joint, I'm going to pop this on. So I have just popped this up on a couple of dimensionals, stuck them down, and I'm thinking I want something else on there, and I've got these kind of like mini sequins. I think I'm going to thread a bunch through. These are from Stampin' Up. They are brilliant and fun, and I do love using them on a project. And I probably should have waited to stick this down. Probably going to ruin this now. Okay, so it doesn't lift very well if you stick it down, just so you know. So I'm going to pop a glue dot under here. That can't be seen. With my sequins, I'm just going to try and find the centre. And you want to kind of make sure that they're lying the right way, because you don't want the back end of them, you want the front. And I'm going to pop both down onto the glue dot and pop that down. It's not ideal that obviously that I've lifted it, because it's now bent a little, but we can. So I'm just going to adhere this one down so it doesn't. So what I've done is I've threaded one of these through. And I've just used a glue dot to hold this one in place. And then I think I still want a bit more bling bling, so bring in the gems. I'm going to use some of the small ones. And we'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay, I was going to do another one, but I think I'm just going to leave that there today. Okay, so I've got all of this left. So I've got still some of the large toppers, sentiments, the kind of surrounds, and plenty of cardstock left over to create some more. But I'm going to leave that here today and show you what we've made. So we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. through this pack, which was only the cost of postage. So we've got the one with the balloons, we've got some ice creams, cocktails, some more ice creams, cupcakes and presents. So I'll show you them like one at a time, a little bit closer. So these are all the cards that I've made using this Hunkydory Party Time Deluxe card pack. I think they're really good fun. I might sell them at a craft fair, I think. I'll stick them into my stash. But yeah, it's been really good fun, and I feel like I've got some slightly different ones. And they were really easy to put together and make. If you've liked watching this video and you like what I've done, give us a thumbs up and let me know if you want more like this. So I'm just trying different products and seeing what we can make with them. And especially stuff that you get for next to nothing is brilliant. So this has been Kelly from Crafty Kellys at www.craftykelly.co.uk, making some cards with the Hunkydory Party Time Deluxe card set. Thanks very much now. Have a great day. Bye.